Hi there, you're welcome to today's lesson on numeracy, and in this lesson we'll be exploring identification and writing of numbers from 1 to 1000. We'll be identifying and writing numbers from 1 to 1000. Okay, so first of all, I would like for us to get introduced to the digits with which every number in existence in the Arabic numerals is formed. With these digits, every number in the Arabic numeral is formed. This is the Arabic numeral, the regular one that we are used to, that we use. Okay, so you have 0, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are the digits that are combined in different ways to form all the numbers that are in existence. So let's do some combination of these numbers and see how they result in different numbers, combination of these digits. Okay, so let's start with 2 and 6. 2 and 6. So for instance, if we look at these numbers, we know that this is units. This is just the value. This is 2. And here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6. Okay, so individually, these digits, they form, they have fixed values. Individually, singly, when they are alone, each of them has a fixed value. But then when they combine with themselves, when one digit combines with another or more than one other digit, the value now depends on the position it is occupying in that number. Okay, once a digit is combining with another digit, you can't say for sure and the value is still what it has always been. No, the value will depend on the position it is occupying in that number. Let's look at these 2 and 6 that we have brought out. Okay, so here they exist individually, but now we're going to combine the two of them and we have 26. Right, we are used to this number, we know this number, so we have 26. Now these two that here, when it was alone, had just the value of 2, is no longer 2. It has changed. The value has changed from just these two. Why? Because it's combining with another digit and the position it's occupying is a peculiar position that makes its value to increase. The position it's occupying here has automatically increased its value. But the 6, which is the first from the right, remains the same. Okay, so I'm going to show us how we can arrange these numbers and be able to tell what value the number is based on its position, and from there as well we'll be able to name them correctly. We'll be able to name these numbers that are formed from different digits that combine together. We'll be able to do the naming. No matter how long the number is, it won't be too complicated for us to name. So now here is a system that helps us in that naming. Now let's use this, let's continue with this example. On it 26, right? Now we have what we call units. These units also known as ones. It's also known as ones, okay? Single value. Like here, this is just 2. 1, 2. And here this is just 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but now they have combined, these two digits have combined to form the number 26. So we're going to find out what has changed and what is still the same. Now let's look at the first number from the right. Remember, whenever you are trying to place your number under this valuing system, which is the place value system, you always arrange your number from the right and work towards the left. You arrange from the right and walk towards the left. If you start from the left, you may not know where you need to start. And once your numbers are wrongly placed, once your digits rather are wrongly placed, you can never get the correct name of that number, and you won't also know the correct value of the different digits that form that number. So you always need to start from the right in arranging the digits in that number, and you work towards the left. So for units is the same. It doesn't, unit is unit. 6 under unit is still 6. It still has a value of 6. 2 under unit still has the value of 2. 1 under unit is still 1. Okay, so this 6 here is 6 units or 6 ones. Okay, 6 units or 6 ones. Now we come to the 2. Now looking at this 2 is under T. That T you're seeing there represents tens. Where do we get our tens from? Now when you have your units, remember in our new numbers, the digits that we combine to form other numbers, the highest number you have there is 9. 9 is the highest or the largest single digit number. 9, I will repeat that, is the largest single digit number. Once we get to 9, any addition of extra units to 9 will land us at 10. And we can see that 10 is double digit number. 10 is double digit number. So it cannot fit where the single digit numbers fit. 1 and 2, they are not the same. So this units can only accommodate single digit numbers. This unit position can only accommodate single digit numbers. So once the number crosses to 2 digit numbers, which 10 is the least of, it has to be transferred to the position of tens because it can't be accommodated in the unit end. So how does that happen? Assuming these are the units, 10 is a stack of these units. 10 of these units stack together. That gives us 10. So once it is up to 10, it can't stay under unit anymore. So you bring it as a 1 column of 10 and it comes under the tens column or under the tens position. So here we have 2 tens. 2 tens. This is 6 units and this is 2 tens. And what does 2 tens mean? If you are breaking 2 tens down to ones or units, it's giving you 20 units. It's giving you 20 units. So that means these 2 tens you see here is 20 units. Why the 6 remains the same? Because 6 is under unit. So what you have now is 20 units plus 6 units, which gives you 26 units in all. Now, what am I trying to bring out? That the value of 2 changed from mere 2, from ordinary 2 to 20. What happened? How did that happen? What happened was that the position of 2 changed as it combined with another digit 6 to form a number. So place value is when you are looking at the values of different digits in numbers, you have to check the position they are occupying. And also when you are combining these digits to form numbers, you have to be aware of their arrangement as well, because that is how you'll be able to arrange them sequentially and progress till you get to the highest number that you are aiming at. Okay, so I hope with this we'll be able to do some combination of numbers and get up to the number we are expected to get up to, which is 1000 in this case. So let's take, we're going to work from, this is grade 3 and 4, so I won't be coming down to, so we're just going to start from a number like 101, okay? We're working towards 1000. So let's look at 101 for instance, or let's start from 100. Now this is 100. I'm sure we all know how we form our 100. So if we are going to show this number in their place value, we have here, let's try and arrange. What's the first number? In 100, the first number to the right is what? Is 0. So the unit is 0. And the next number, which is 10, is also 0. And the last number, which is 1, is under 100. So this is 100. Now this 100, to get 101, which is the next number, what do? Simply add 1 unit to the 100. If you add 1 unit to the 100, that one is going to be under the unit. So add it. 101. That's what you have. So that means this 101 is 101. This is what? Assuming this is 100, then this number is the next one, which is 101. Now you are adding 2 units to 100, which is the next step or the next point after our 101. 2 plus 0, that gives you 2. 0 plus 0, 0, and that. So that means 102 is the next number. That is how you write it. If it's 3 units you are adding here, it becomes 103. It goes on like that until you get to 109. Let's see how 109. We definitely know how that looks. So it gives you 109. Okay, I'm just going to do that. 109. And after 9, what is the next number? 10. How do we write 10? 1 and 0, isn't it? Now remember I told you that 10 cannot be placed in the column of units. The highest number that can be placed under units is 9. So now that we have 10, what are we going to do? We place our 0, which is the number from the right, the last number from the right, or first number from the right, sorry, which is the first number from the right. We place it under the unit, and the next number, which is 1, comes under tens. Okay, so this is 10. Now we are adding 10 units to our 100. What do we have? Let's see. So you have 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So that is our 110. Now let's add 11 units, which is the next number after 10. This is what you have. 111, which is 111. 111. Now let's add 12 units to 100. You have 112. Okay, let's add 13 units to 100. You have 113. And it goes on like that. You get to 20, you add 20 units, you have 0 plus 0 is 0, 2 plus 0 is 2, 120. So we can just still do that, 120. And it goes on like that. So what I'll just show you is as simple as it is. It's just simple. Now if you get to 100 after 110, now look at try and see the pattern that is building. Okay, here is 110, 120, here will be 130, here will be 140, here will be 150, 160, 170, 180, 190. Wow, 190. But first look at these numbers. What's the last number you see in all of them, or the last digit rather? Is 0. And now look at the numbers next to 0. You see a gradation. From 1 you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. After 9, what's going to be the next? What will be the next number after 9? It's supposed to be 10, right? But we can't place 10 under this unit column. So what do we do? How do we handle 10? Remember, this is our tens and this is our unit. So if we have tens, the 0 comes under unit, while 1 comes under tens. So this is exactly what we're going to do here again. So we're going to place our 0 under 9 and our 1 comes under the next number. So when you add, you're going to have 0. Sorry, let me arrange that properly. So you're going to have your 0 under unit and your 1 under 10. So when you add, you have 0. 1 plus 9 is 10. You bring you rename. You bring the other number here, and then you have 2. So the next number after 190 is 200. Okay. So let's just. It just keeps building with 1 unit and all of that. So if you want to move, you have 200, and then you have 201, just like we have in 101, 202, just like we have here. The only difference is, instead of having 1 as the first digit, it becomes 2. So you have 201, 202, 203, all the way. And then by the time you get to 299, okay, your number, the next addition of 1 unit, we change this 9 to 10, and 10 can stay under unit. So when you add that one, this becomes 0, and the 10 comes here. This also becomes 0, and the extra one spills over here. So you move to 300. So from 200, you go to 300. From 300, you go to 400. From 400, you go to 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and after 9 is what? 10. Let's write our 10 first, then you add your 2 zeros. That is 1,000. That's 1,000. So once you have an understanding of your unit, tens, hundreds, as in the place value, it will help you in identifying these numbers. For instance, let's pick a number and try to identify what that number is, and then we go ahead to writing them in words. Okay, so before we start, let's try and identify this number. 4 and 6. 4 and 6. So let's see. Let's try and place them in their columns, their respective columns, to get the appropriate place values before we try to name. So I told you, you always start from your right and you work towards the left. And the unit at the right end, the extreme right, is the one with the least value. It is the one with the smallest value. Okay, so, and that unit is units or ones. And the next is tens. Now we have 2-digit numbers, so we're just going to stop there. It's tens. All right, so here this 6 is just 6 units, and it doesn't change. It's 6 is 6. But the 4 is under tens. Well, what does that mean? What does 4 tens mean? It means tens in 4 places. 10 in 4 places. I showed us an example of what a 10 is. That is a stack of 10 units, and it forms a column of 10. So in this case, we are talking of 4 of these tens. So this is it. 4 of these tens. This is 1 10. This is 2 tens, 3 and 4. So 10 in 4 places is the same thing as 40. This is 40. So if this 4 is 40, that means the value is different from the value this single digit 4 has. This single digit 4 here is simply 4. But that same 4 staying in the column of tens changes in value. It increases in value just because of that position. So this is 4 tens and this is 6 units. So 4 tens is 40 and then 6 is 6 units. So 40 plus 6 is what? 46. So if they ask you what number is this, it is 46. Are we together? Let's look at another example. Let's look at another example. I just left this here. Please, if you need to write them down somewhere, it's fine, to know how you move from 110 to 200, and which is something that will also help you to move from 210 to 300. It will help you to move from 310 to 400, from 410 to 500, just like that. And over here, I left these numbers as well, because this one will help you to know how to move from 200 to 300 to 400, all the way to 1,000. Okay, so let's look at another number and try to see if we can name it. So this time we are looking at 785. I don't want to say the number. I don't want to say what it is. I want you to try and identify it yourself. But first, let's start working together, arranging them in the columns of their values from the right side. So 5 comes under unit, 8 comes under tens, and 7 comes under hundreds. Once we know what we need to do using this, you won't have any problem being able to name a number, being able to identify a number. You will be able to identify, and you will even be aided in naming it correctly as once you are able to follow this place value and their positions. Okay, so here you have 5 units. Here you have 8 units. And here you have 8 tens. And here you have 7 hundreds. 700. So 5 units, 8 tens, 700. Now, let me quickly say this, okay? When you are arranging, you arrange from the right and you work towards the left. I have said that and I'm saying it again. Because when it is time to name, after you have used that to determine the actual positions or the positional values of the numbers, when it is time to name the number, you do not work from your left, from your right. You work from your left towards your right. So you start from the digits on your left and name the whole number towards the right. When you are figuring out the value, the positional values of these numbers, you work from your left to from your right to your left. From this extreme end, you work to your left. But when it is time to name the number, after you have gotten the place values of the digits, you need to work from your left to your right. So here we start with 7. We're not starting with 5 anymore. So you have 700s. You have 700s. Okay, let's write 700s. Then here you have 8 tens. 8 tens. And lastly, you have 5 units or 5 what? Ones. Told you 5 units. Units is the same as 1. So you can use units, you use ones, it's the same thing. So here we have 700, 8 tens, 5 units. Now let's write this out. You have 700. 8 tens means what? 10 in 8 places or 8 in 10 places, which is 80. And then you have 5 units. So if you add all this together, even without adding, now let's try and name it. 700 and what? 80 and 5. 780 and 5. Now let's name it correctly and appropriately. Let's remove the unnecessary and. You have 785. 785. Now this will lead us to expanded numbers. Okay, it will lead us to expand. I'm just trying to hold back a little bit so that we don't jam too many concepts or sub-concepts together as we are exploring this particular side of the lesson. Okay, but if you need to add this together, what you have is you add 700 plus, remember we're always working from the right side, so to arrange your 80 you also start from the right side and the last number is 5. So you will always find that when you are adding these numbers, your right side always is straight because the numbers are all starting from the right side. It's always aligned. Then you add. So you have 785. And what's 785? 785. So if you know the place value, it will help you to correctly name the numbers. 785. Now I'm going to draw a place value chart for you. I don't want to erase everything I have on the board, okay? I think this can go now. Oh, let me leave it, no problem. But let me quickly draw this chart for you. Because the numbers stop at 1000, I am not going to let your chart be elaborate. I'll just give you a simple chart for the level of numbers you're considering. My chart is not bent. Okay, I think it's a bit better. All right. Okay, I think we can manage this. So we're going to, this is a chart. Okay. All right. Guess we're good. Yeah. So here, for this chart, you have, this is units, tens, hundreds, and here is thousands. I hope the chart is clear enough. So the first column here, you have units, followed by tens, then hundreds, and thousands. So if you want to, the symbols, the way they are represented in short form is this: H and TH. Unit, tens, hundred, and thousand. If you don't mind, you can write this down as well. It's going to help you, to really be helpful. So this is a place value chart, okay? Miniature place value chart. If you are dealing with bigger numbers, extended numbers, you will have it bigger than this and longer with more compartments, okay, to show the values of the different positions. So, but for your level, since we're stopping at 1,000, this is where we stop our chart, our place value chart, okay? So whatever number you have, always remember, try to arrange them under these values. Try to arrange them under these values, and knowing where each digit falls, you will be able to accurately name the number. So let's just write a random number under these units or values. Let's see, 6, 4, 3, 1. Okay, so this is a number, and we are asked to name this number. Okay, sorry. Let's make this, we don't want to exceed 1,000, right? Yeah, we don't want to exceed 1,000. So let's write 964. Okay, we're writing 964. Let's see what it gives us. So here you have 4 units, and then you have 6 tens, and lastly you have 9 hundreds. 6 tens and 4 units. You have already named your number. You have already, by correctly positioning the digits in their proper positions, you're already there. So just some slight modification to what you have now, you have come up with your rename, the actual name for this number. So you have 900, which is 900. 6 tens is what? 6 and 0, which is 60, and then 4 units is simply 4. So to get what this number stands for, you can just add everything together. So you have, so please, you got to excuse me. I think I can erase this now, right? I think I can. 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 1,000 is simple. You should be able to remember that. Okay, so to get this number, you have 900 and then 60 and then 4. Now, if you look at my arrangement, you see that the numbers on the right side, they align. They align because my arrangement starts from there, so there's no way that place can be empty. You always arrange from the right and you move towards the left. So your right hand must be straight down. Okay, so here we have 0 plus 0 plus 4, that's 4. 0 plus 6, that's 6. And lastly, 9 plus nothing, you have 9. So what do you have? 900, remember the 9 is in the family of 100. 900, what is 6 tens? That's 60. 60 and 4. 960 and what? 4. So it's 964. That is what this number is. 964. That will bring us to writing in words. It will bring us to writing in word. 900. Okay, sorry, that won't be same. Let me just look for a space and squeeze it in. So the number is 900 and 64. $964. So let's do a quick recap of what we have learned today. We've seen that all the numbers in Arabic numerals, all the numbers in existence are formed from these 10 single digits. They are formed from these 10 digits, from 0 to 9. And these numbers, when they occur singly, they are in the unit end. They form the unit end, all these single digit numbers. But then when they combine with other numbers, when they are in combination with other numbers, their value now depends on the position they are occupying. Alone, they are unit numbers and they have fixed values. But once they combine with each other to form bigger numbers, the value each digit has depends on the position it is occupying. Okay, so we gave an example of the digits 2 and 6. We looked at that value separately as single digits, and then we combined them. When we combined them, we found out that 2 changed in value. 6 remained the same because 6 occupied the unit position. Remember, I mentioned that any of these digits, when it occupies the unit position, its value doesn't change. But if any of these digits occupies the position of tens or hundreds or thousands, the value changes. So that happened to the number 2 when we looked at number 26. So 2 occupied the position of tens, and so it became 20, 2 and 0. So ordinary 2 changed in value to 20 when it occupied the position of tens. So we went ahead and drew a chart to help us have a better understanding of how to position our numbers in order to appropriately name them, to name them correctly. And then we also looked at how numbers move from one step to the next, by the addition of one single digit. As you keep adding digits, you just keep moving forward. And we see how numbers are built, from like 100 to 999, which is basically 1000. So this is our exploration for today. Now, I wouldn't want you to look confused. I actually left this here. If you look at this part, this shows you how numbers grow from 110 to 200. Okay, you can write that down and study it. I deliberately left it there. And then we also wrote numbers, how they grow from 200 to, let me write that out, from 100 to 1000. Okay, so you have 100, 200. It's very simple. You just see, it's like I'm writing 1, 2, 3 all over again. You see that? Just like 1, 2, 3, 5, 0, 0, 6, 0, 0, 7, 0, 0, 8, 0, 0, 9, 0, 0, and the last one is 10 and 0, 0, which is 1000. Okay, so look at it. It's still 1, 2, 3 you are writing. So it's just as simple as it can be. I hope we find this lesson, I hope it's clear enough, and that we'll be able, I would love for you to practice this, really, please. I would love for you to practice all these numbers, whatever chart you can lay your hands on that shows numbers probably from 1 to 500, 1 to 200, it will still be helpful. if you can get a hang of that 1 to 200, 1 to 500, by the time you get to 500, you have already understood the pattern. You've already seen how it is built and how it grows, it increases, you know, until you get to 1,000. So please, whatever material you can get to keep practicing, keep practicing. When you go out with mommies or daddies or uncles or aunties, just look out for numbers and just practice. If you see any number on a sign, or maybe you go to the shop, you go for shopping, just try to read the numbers you see. Numbers are everywhere. So just keep practicing with them, okay? And this will also help you to apply them in your everyday life. Apply this knowledge in your everyday life, okay? So just go out, look for numbers. Oh, mommy, see this number, 7 and 3. 7. Okay, 3 will be under units, and my 7 will be under tens. 7 tens, what does that mean? 7 tens, that means 7 and 0. Oh, 70, and then 3 units. Oh, that's 73. That's how you practice. So I'm challenging you, okay? I'm challenging you. I discuss with mommies and daddies. We have our own platform. So I'm going to ask if you are actually practicing your numbers, okay? And you wouldn't want a situation where mommy tells me or daddy tells me that you're not practicing. So please, you need to practice, okay? And your friends that are not here, you can also talk with them. Practice with them. As you are playing, be playing with numbers. Play numbers, sing numbers, think numbers. Do everything in numbers, okay? Until you get a complete hang of this. All right, I hope to see you next week. For our daddies, our mommies, our uncles and aunties, we implore you, we beg you, if you feel this video is helpful, please help us share the link and get the word out there to as many people as possible. We hope to see you next week. Stay blessed and stay safe.